Hi, Nikki here. Yes, it's baseball season. And no, we're not at the Big A. I wanted to share with you a summer show because being outside in the fresh air and the sunshine is what summer's all about. Going to the ball game is what my summer used to be all about. It was something that my husband and I really enjoyed doing. He was the kid who always used the Stratomatic, baseball's board game that you folks probably do remember. And now everything, of course, is done on computer and they know more statistics than you could shake a stick at. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about baseball from a comic perspective since we're in a comic film class. And for those of you with NOCE who know I have a lot of movies, you're probably wondering, how did I ever categorize all my movies? Did I do it by name of actor like Frank Sinatra or Gene Kelly or Esther Williams? Sure I did. But then it got tricky because I wanted to do things in order of topic, like baseball. So I had to do some digging and I had to find all my stars who really enjoyed the baseball games and the fun of the baseball challenges. And some of that you're going to enjoy the memories of today with me. So I'm putting my mask down. I'm picking up my announcer ball game mic. And I'm telling you all about the fun things you can do while you're in COVID-19 quarantine at home. You might be able to sit outside. You might be able to throw a baseball to each other. That would be fun. I would do that just for some exercise. You might just need to put on your hat inside and just turn on your TV. The good thing is they're actually going to play. The bad thing is nobody's really there to watch. Yes, they've done cardboard cutouts of fans in the stands, and you may get a kick out of seeing that on television. But they are attempting to do, I think, 62 games. And so I had a little humor about that, too. They've gone back to work, and the best player in baseball, I didn't think was going to come back. His name was Mike Trout, and he became a new daddy this month. And so I was very excited to hear that he had a little boy, of course, because he obviously would love a son to be able to teach the great American pastime too. But his name was Charming. No, not Charming, but his name initials are B-A-T. His name is Beckman Aaron Trout. And so we congratulate the daddy. Happy Father's Day to you. And now he's back playing the game, and ever since he got back in the game, he's been hitting a home run every game. I think he's trying to show his son something special about his enthusiasm about being a dad. Anyway, congratulations, Mike. Now, great films. We need to talk about great films of baseball. And we have to start with the very first Angels in the Outfield, which of course was back in 1951, and it starred Clarence Brown. You can get that on DVD, or you can look it up and maybe they'll play it for you on Netflix or one of the other movie channels that you're subscribing to. But if you can't find the original Angels in the Outfield, you can always go to the Disney Channel and you can get Christopher Lloyd in Angels in the Outfield remake, which is cute, but not like the original black and white, the real story of Angels in the Outfield. Now, guys, I know you're going to love it. The baseball epics are back. People have made baseball epics for many different people, but of course, Gary Cooper as our friend Lou Gehrig. You probably have seen it many times, but why not? It's such a good movie. James Stewart, The Stratton Story. Then you've also got many versions of The Babe. And if you don't really want to watch a whole movie, there are some great moments in baseball that you can just turn on a podcast, which is the new version of radio, and you can listen to the original fans cheering for different baseball stories. You can also buy the CDs if you want and have them for yourself. Now, excuse me while I bang over my mic, but this book right here can give you the CDs of the actual broadcasts as you heard them originally, probably. And some of the best of the fans roared will include the Jackie Robinson story. By the way, Jackie Robinson was smart enough to be in his own bioepic movie. So yes, you could buy 42, which is a great remake. But if you want to see Jackie Robinson play Jackie Robinson, that is a gem. So there's the Jackie Robinson story you could listen to. You could listen to, oh my goodness, hold on. Saying Goodbye to the Babe. What a classic moment that was. You could also listen to some of the fun of Willie Mays and his great catch. Now, if you're wondering about what some of these baseball players were able to do to keep their sense of humor while the game was going on, because sometimes games can get pretty intense, they had some really good team jokes, of course, just among the guys, but they also shared some of the what's so funny about getting old. And I thought it was really cute that Satchel Paige kept everybody in stitches while he was working for the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs, which, by the way, I like the fact that a black man played on the Kansas City Chiefs as an Indian. I think we're just getting way too crazy with all this. We have to stop pretending that we're somebody else. We're all everybody else in America. Everybody. I'm a baseball fan of all baseball. All fans are baseball fans. Doesn't matter where we came from. Doesn't matter what color or origin, our skin or family, anything. We're baseball fans. And we're together on this one. So, when Satchel Paige said the classic quote, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you were? That came out of the fact that he said, I ain't never had a job. I just played baseball. And he was the first black pitcher in the major leagues. He was the oldest rookie. That's where the quote really makes sense in history, earning him a place in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But did you know he always had something fun to say? You know, he was talking about how he didn't really like running. And so he said, don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. Oh, he's just too funny. Ain't no man can avoid being born average, but there ain't no man got to be common. So there's nothing common about Satchel Paige and all of his stories. You can read his own book. He wrote himself about his life story. You can read that in Maybe I'll Pitch Forever. Great title. Because when you're living in a pandemic like this, you have to have a dream that you could go on forever, but the pandemic doesn't have to. Also, you could see Satchel Paige, notice how my mind goes back and forth, in the movie Don't Look Back, which was done for TV. You can also see him in a cable movie, which was called Soul of the Game. So, if you're looking for some recreational TV time, you can look that up. And cable time, you can look that up. Now, if you're looking for musical humor, which I really enjoy, you cannot skip a baseball season without watching Take Me Out to the Ball Game. This is so fun. And I have to appreciate the fact that the songs and the actors keep you in stitches the whole time. Young Frank Sinatra, amazing Gene Kelly, fun Esther Williams. Yes, yes, yes. All good. So the other one that's really fun to sing along to, and if you haven't heard it in a while, maybe you'd enjoy it. It's Damn Yankees. Yes, indeed. Then, if you really want to go on to something fun and older that you might go, oh yes, I memorized that back in the day, you may go back to the Naughty 90s. And the Naughty 90s with Abbott and Costello will give you who's on first, what's on second. If you haven't ever heard that classic comedy routine, you've got to go back and see it. Now, if you don't have the movie, the Naughty 90s, you can also catch it on the Bud Abbott and Lou Costello TV show. That's in DVD, and you can look that up too on all of your favorite channels. And sure enough, they repeat this many times because it was so good. Now, if you're wondering about being a grandparent and fitting into the world of your children, of course you're going to support all their Pee Wee League and all of their fun games that they're going to be doing, but you can't go to them now. Darn. But there is a movie that'll make you laugh about enjoying your grandkids, and that's the Grandparent movie with Bette Midler and Billy Crystal. They play grandparents. He was a minor league announcer, and in the end he gets to announce for his grandchildren's Pee Wee Leagues. So fun. Look that one up. Now let's see, one more thing before my time totally runs out. I wanted to remind you that we have to be nice to our fellow baseball lovers and support all the teams, of course, that our families like. So if, in fact, my daughter-in-law comes to visit, we change the towels in the bathroom. We let her be a Dodger fan. And then we go back to the Angels. So we're very, very integrated here. For those of you who can win the contest of the game, of the test of where do the Angels do their spring training, I'll give you 1, 2, 3. You guessed it, they were in Arizona. And the only Angel games that I saw this year, in fact, was my very first trip to Arizona to see them do their spring training. It was wonderful. It was a small stadium. It was up close and personal. It was adorable. We had such a good time. So, yes, I totally 100% recommend going to spring training games. You get to see them up close and personal. And there will be a day when we can do this again. There will be a time when it will be you and me at the ball game. Because I know a lot of you still would go with your friends to ball games, with your family to ball games when you could get out. So this year's going to be chalked up as a totally different. We watched a lot of TV games, but I still want to recommend to you, hold out the hope. Keep the faith. You're going to get to see those guys live again if you want to. If you want to get out to the ball game, you'll enjoy it. Speaking of getting out to the ball game, there was a comic. His name is Michael Jr., and he was taken for the very first time to see a baseball game. And his friends didn't tell him what to expect. They just said, come on, you'll like it. It'll be fun. And so he sat there and he watched and he made all kinds of observations. But the funniest one was that in the 7th inning, for the 7th inning stretch, when everyone stands up and sings, take me out to the ball game, take me out to the park, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Angels home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And he said, do y'all know that you're actually here already? That's Michael Jr. He's a wonderful comic. I hope you look him up. He's considered safe for families to view together. He likes clean comedy, and I totally recommend him. Well, folks, that about wraps it up. Other than the fact that I could show you my hat collection, of angel hats that I will enjoy, because I sort of borrowed all of them from my husband and my kids and mine. So I will continue all this month, and while the games are still being played over the air until they find out coronavirus doesn't stop them, I hope, I'm just going to keep changing my hats and wearing a different one for every game this month. Ta-da! Yes, I know you're thrilled, but aloha, everyone. Thank you for watching. See you again with Summertime with NOCE and me.